Sometimes we're really determined to create something, to make something happen. And we just do not give up. It's an obsession. You've got to make it happen. And I think when we reach that level, that kind of passion, we find a way. No matter how unskilled we may be, no matter how untalented we may be, no matter how much we may be lacking in what it takes to make that happen, we make it happen. I've seen people who are by all measures really, really untalented at what it is that they do, and yet successful. Because they were ignorant of it. Ignorance is bliss. There's a truth to that. There's a power in being in denial. I've known people who others could come up to them and tell them that they're terrible at what they do. And somehow they don't hear it that way. They heard it as they were great. And they may be laughed at by others. But ultimately they succeed. And all of a sudden all the people who used to be around them are like, I can't believe that guy achieved what he achieved. He seemed like an idiot. He seemed like a fool. He was untalented. He was ungifted. There's no way he belongs in that position, but there he is. I've seen it. We've all seen it. Because if you see yourself in a certain light with certainty, you will certainly end up where you see yourself to be. It shall be so. If your vision is that strong, that you're undeterred by the truth, you're unaffected by the truth. The truth, what is the truth? History, historical facts, scientific facts, logic, reasoning, other people's knowledge, wisdom, other people's idea of what God is, what facts are. What is true? Ultimately, what is true is what is true for you. So anything can be, anything. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. I mean anything. To see it with certainty. And there are those who are naturally gifted at being in denial. And again, they may come across as fools. How could that guy possibly think that that song that he just recorded is any good? It's horrible. It stinks. And the next thing you know, he's got a hit song. I mean, maybe it didn't become a hit as you originally heard it, but he had such a fundamental belief in what he's doing that he and his music, his song, found its way to where he saw it to be in his vision. So whatever it took to make that happen, happened. So he really believed in it, and along the way, he found a collaborator, or someone remixed the song, or someone produced it in a different way, And all of a sudden, maybe it sounds totally different than the way that you originally heard it, but it's there and he's there. And you and your skepticism and your doubt are still wishing for your wishes to come true. So there's a power in being foolish, in being in denial, in being foolish. In the tarot, the Fool card, it's the first card of the journey. And what it represents is not foolish in a sense of someone who necessarily is an embarrassment or an idiot, but foolish in the sense that they're willing to take a leap forward into the unknown, a leap of faith, to just go forth with intent and see what happens, to go off on your quest, like in the story The Alchemist, you know, to just go off on your quest. And you meet all the obstacles along the way. And you know, all these myths, whether it's in the book The Alchemist or, you know, the whole story of the major arcana in the tarot deck, all mythology, it's all the same, you know. It begins with an intent and a leap of faith, a vision, and the courage, and perhaps the blindness and being in denial of the obstacles, and just seeing the opportunity, seeing the vision, seeing the outcome, only to ultimately discover that the outcome comes in the conviction of the vision. So we see it to be so. We know it to be so. We trust that the God that created us is capable of creating anything. And we can see this when we recognize the miracle of what is and what we are. I mean, this is amazing. How did we get here? Who are we? What is this? Where are we going? Where are we from? Who are you? What is this magic? And even the tragic, there's a magic in the tragic. To be amazed, to be in wonder. And I think sometimes those who are preaching the way, the vision, are doing us a big disservice. Because when we're trying to find the magic, the God, the way, through another person's vision, rather than our own vision, we lose track of our own potential to see a vision and to manifest a vision. It's reassuring to share a common vision. It helps confirm our own vision. It's powerful to unite, to join together with a common vision. But it's often a disservice to our own truth. We can lose our own truth when subscribing to the truth of another, ultimately, it's all one truth, and we all arrive. It's one truth. Of infinite truths. Ernest Hemingway, Islands in the Stream. As the main character is dying, he says, I now know that it's not one thing that's true. It's all true. It's all true. Everything is true. Your dreams are not a lie. They never were. Everything that you want to be, everything that you want to see, everything that you wish to be, wish to have, you saw it in your mind, you saw it in your heart, because it's a vision of what already is. And it's your doubt that keeps you from it, that separates you from it. It's your doubt. And your doubt manifests itself in the external world in powerful forms. In science that says it's not possible. In religions that say it's not possible, that it's not right. In the words of other people, loved ones, who say that it cannot be so. In the mirror that you look in, it says this is the way that it is. And yet, it's all true. It's all true. No dream is too impossible, is too big for the one that created the dream that you're living in right now. Be one with God. Be one with His vision. His vision is your vision. Your vision is His vision. My intent is your intent. Don't doubt yourself. Release the guilt, release the doubt, release the skepticism, release the unworthiness, the undeservingness. It not only will be, it already is. It shall be so, simply because you saw it to be already. And the doubt and the skepticism and the unworthiness, the feeling that you're not deserving, is keeping you from anything. You know? All good dreams are God's dreams. Good is God. God is good. And your nightmares are not real. They're just doubt floating through your existence. The dead will be revived. They never left. The dead will be revived. They've always been alive. Death is an illusion. Age is an illusion. Loss is an illusion. Disease is an illusion. Poverty is an illusion. Hunger is an illusion. I know it all seems so real. And I don't mean to be dismissive of anyone's suffering, of anyone's hunger, of anyone's scarcity, of anyone's terror, horror, loneliness, pain. I don't mean to be dismissive of it. I know how real it feels, but ultimately, it's just a bad dream. How do you wake up from it? Suicide is not the solution, because we're eternal beings. So to attempt to end this life, and it's only an attempt because you're always alive, you're always eternal, but the attempt to free yourself of your pain through ending yourself doesn't work, because you don't end, we don't end. Our stories continue. So, the only thing that we can do is to, instead of deny the darkness, run from the darkness, we must run into the darkness, face our fears, befriend our fears, our heartbreaks, our heartaches, that which makes us feel unworthy, that part of ourselves that we loathe and we hate. We must face it, embrace it. You know, look the devil in the eyes. When you cast light into darkness, darkness ceases to exist. It's not easy. But as Joseph Campbell said, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. All of the horrors are just an illusion. But we try really hard to deny them. And you know, we have a lot of tools to suppress the darkness, the depression. And today's modern day healers, the doctors, the psychiatrists, they could probably be held legally liable if they were not to do everything in their power to help you suppress the darkness. When in fact, we need a guide, a shaman, whatever, to lead us into the darkness, into our own personal darkness, to explore it. There's no room for that in today's society. To enter the darkness would be considered insanity, craziness. And there's more and more pressure to fit this certain norm. And it's gotten so crazy that they actually now will measure the chemistry in your brain and tell you have an imbalance. And so therefore, here's these pills that will balance out this imbalance and make you better. but what was better? You were on the path, and because the path got scary, you got off the path. And I know it's not an easy path. I know, really, I know. And we all have to do it in our own time. You know what's right for you. You know, if you need to come in from the darkness, you know, if you need certain pills or whatever, you know. You know what's best for you. Maybe. I don't know. Do I even know what's best for me? Love is the answer, you know? Love is the answer. Anything can be achieved with love, because love is what we always seek to give and to receive and to feel, because it feels so good. The love that comes in the arms of a lover, with the touch of a lover, the love that comes with family, friends, pets, doing something fun, exhilarating, something that we love to do. I love you, you love me. Love, love, love. Hundreds, thousands of songs about love. Love is where it's at. When we're in a state of love, all is right in the world. And we wait for love, and we feel like we're denied love because we have certain ideas of what love should be and who love should come in the form of. Instead of just letting love be. Love the one you're with. If you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. Love yourself. Love yourself, you know. We can be really, really critical of ourselves. And if we're going to be critical of ourselves, guess what? Our Creator, our God, our Source will give us more to be critical about. And just when we learn to like this about ourselves, we'll find something else to dislike. Some people will go to extremes, you know? They'll get a new surgically altered nose or breasts or whatever, and they'll feel good for a while until they find something else to be critical of and something else to condemn about themselves. Because the surgery only changed the body part, it didn't change the critical mind, perhaps even the loathing mind. For a lot of people, they're self-loathing. But back to the whole thing of suicide is not the solution, because that's really important. Because we're talking about two things now. We're talking about facing our darkness, and yet at the same time, there are ways to suppress the darkness. And there are doctors prescribing stuff all the time to like 1 out of 10 Americans to suppress the darkness. When you suppress the darkness, you suppress the light as well. You know, you can't just suppress one part of the life force, the chi, you know. You're going to suppress it from both ends. So the responsible doctor also does not want a patient who get so depressed, so anxious, so distraught that they take their life. So we have to see that in the taking of a life, nothing's being accomplished. You're just adding more darkness to the already dark picture. And even in taking a life, how can we judge another person? We can't judge someone if we haven't walked in their shoes. So we might say, oh, people who commit suicide, they're selfish. It's always a big thing. People say it's a very, very selfish thing to do. They're hurting everyone else around them. And that's a really judgmental thing. You haven't walked in their shoes. Maybe some people just feel such an unbearable pain that, as wrong as they know that it may be to take their own life, they feel like they have no other choice. It's like, I got to get out now. I got to escape now. It's too hard. It's too difficult. It's too painful. Just like, as much as I'm against psychiatric drugs, who am I to judge? If someone else is in so much pain, so much suffering, and there's a pill that can make them feel relatively happy and good, and they can carry on with their life, we can never judge another. But to get to the point of being one with God, not believing in God, not having ceremonies about God, religious beliefs about God, hymns about God, not that, but being with God, knowing God. In order to be with God and to know God, we've got to know it all. We've got to know the darkness. And it would be so much easier if it was okay, if we were granted the permission, like, hey, it's all right to feel depressed. It's great to feel depressed. Come on and hold my hand. We'll walk through the darkness together. We'll all join together. We'll help each other. We'll support each other. I'm scared. You're scared. I'm lonely. You're lonely. I'm lacking. You're lacking. Sometimes I feel ugly. Sometimes you feel ugly. Let's just surrender to it together. And that's often the beauty of religion, is the church experience and that communal thing. But what if we could do it without the beliefs attached? Just the love. A church where there's just love, without belief, without rules, without preaching. Just a church of love, just to get together and have that permission to surrender into the darkness.